Welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson, and this week's show is all about deer. Now, last week we stopped in with Jordan Brown to check out his opening day story from Mecosta County. Then we were in Huron County for my opening day story. This week we'll stop in Richmond, Michigan for the buck pull that happens there. It's kind of become a tradition for me to stop in on that buck pull, and Jimmy also visited a buck pull in the northern lower.
Well, that's right, Jenny. Buck pulls are a big deal here in the state of Michigan. I was at a brand new one in Wexford County in the town of Manton. You won't want to miss that. And you're also going to get to see my opening day hunt from Clare County with a father and 3 sons who actually, get this, they only owned this property for 1 month. Really kind of a neat opener, very unique place there. You won't want to miss that story. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. Make sure you stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger, and it's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors. Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream. It's the love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By the Ultimate Sports Show Tour, producing consumer shows including the Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit, January 7th through 10th at Novi's Suburban Collection Showplace. The show features fishing tackle, fishing trips, fishing boats, and seminars on every Michigan game fish. The Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit, January 7th through 10th. By Country Smokehouse, offering a variety of meat products. Country Smokehouse is located 3 miles south of I-69 on M53, just south of Imlay City. Country Smokehouse is a meat processor, a butcher, and a destination for sportsmen.
We all have one, that perfect spot, a special place we go to smooth out the ripples of the day. Our perfect spot is calling. Our perfect spot is pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Opening day this year took me to the edge of Clare County to a very unique deer camp. Ron Zarzini and his 3 boys would be having their very first deer camp here. Now, Ron purchased this house and some 600 acres only a month before the opener. And when I heard about this place, I just had to come check it out. This house was built in the early 1900s, and it probably has all the same furniture as it did then. It was a very one-of-a-kind deer camp.
As you know, we've only owned it for about 4 weeks. And we were looking for hunting property for the boys and I, and we've got a mailing on this property. And as we were returning from Weedman, looking at one, we saw this and said, yeah, let's see what this is all about. And so the day of the auction, I got online and started to bid, and it was an online auction, and we ended up winning the bid. And we bought it from Howard Doss, who, is my understanding, has owned it since 1945. And prior to that, it was owned by Archer family that I believe built it in around 1908.
Pumpkin pie and prime rib is the first deer camp tradition that made its way to this place, one I highly recommend, by the way. As most deer camps do, the night was full of stories, card games, and predictions about what the opener would hold. But what made this so unique was, again, these guys have only owned this place for a month, so what might happen in the woods was anybody's guess. But we would find out soon enough. One question I had for Ron as we got started in the morning was just how did you decide where guys would sit?
Well, it turned out to be the best spot. It was totally accidental. We just stuck a camera out and said, let's just see what happens. And within a week of being here, we went and checked the camera, and there was some really nice bucks and a really nice bear on it. So we said, this is going to be one of the stands. And then from there, it was just kind of experience of, okay, this looks good over here, and one of the other boys wanted to go another spot, so it all worked out.
The opener was clear and calm, and a little warmer than you would like, but the deer were moving. Ron and his boys have hunted together now for years, and really that is a big part of the enjoyment for Ron.
It makes me feel really good. We've been hunting since they've been old enough to hunt. 12 years old. Michael and Brian was able to get a deer with their bow, so that's been real special. Since then, it's been a little tougher. Brian's hit a few 10s that we weren't able to get, but he finally pulled it together this year. I think just what you said, it's family, it's bringing it together. It's not about getting the deer, it's about us being together.
Only a few hours into the hunt, and 2 out of Ron's 3 boys had bucks on the ground.
That's Michael's. So Michael and Brian's.
Wow, pretty good morning so far.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of does. We got a spike.
Wow.
We're doing good so far.
Yeah, those are 2 nice bucks.
Really nice bucks, yeah.
And that is about the time things got interesting in our blind. A nice shooter buck had moved in behind us in a spot where we really had to scramble to get the deer on camera. And the bad part was that the tree limbs were right in the way for Ron to get a clear shot.
I got him if you can get him.
I can't get him yet. I can't tell if the limbs in my way or not. Let's just hold on a minute.
Yep.
He's looking at us.
Well, if the deer would have moved another few steps, we would have had him. But we had to look at the south end of a northbound deer instead and never got the shot we wanted.
Darn it. Well, we had our chance.
Well, the only thing that takes the sting out of a missed opportunity like we had was to pack up and go see the bucks the boys had shot. So we headed across the property to help drag deer and, more importantly, hear the stories of a couple of very nice bucks.
Jeez. Wow. Well, tell us the story. What happened this morning?
Well, saw a couple does come in, and then the does kind of scurried off. Saw a big body deer behind me, turned around, and he was standing there, so we shot him.
How far away was he?
Probably 75 yards.
Okay. Wow. So you had a pretty good morning.
Yeah, short morning.
That's a dandy. What time did you shoot him? Yeah,
I think it was 8:30 when I shot him.
8:30. Wow.
And then I came over to check him out, and there was another one standing there looking at
Jeez.
me.
And I was going to almost sit with you this morning.
Yeah.
Nice buck. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, after seeing Brian's buck, we headed over a few hundred yards and found Mike and his deer.
Nice. Boy, well, what happened with your hunt this morning?
About 8 o'clock, he walked in with a 3-point, came in from that direction, and probably about 50 yards away, finally went broadside and took a shot.
And what time did you say it was?
About 8.
Oh, so pretty early.
Pretty early, yeah.
Did you see many deer then?
We saw, I guess I should say, I saw another 10-point, it's too far away.
Wow.
Saw this 8-point, a 3-point, and then just some does.
Wow, well, pretty good opening day.
I'd say very good, yeah.
Yeah, well, congratulations.
Thank you.
It had been a very good morning. We got the deer tagged and back to camp. Breakfast tasted pretty good with 2 deer on the pole, and still a lot of opening day left to hunt. Didn't take long and we were back out in the blind. We opted for the same spot. Now Steve, Ron's son who did not have a buck yet, went to his brother's blind where the 10-point had been shot this morning. And well, you know what? He chose wisely and had this deer hanging when we got back to camp.
What happened with this nice buck tonight, young man?
I was watching 2 spikes come in, looked behind the one while I was looking at it, and this guy came out and got super excited, obviously, and went for it. Came into the bait and got a shot, and ran off a little ways, and luckily got a second shot and went down.
Nice. So how far did he go?
Probably about 50 yards from the bait.
Okay. So he came into some to the feeder there. Is that what it was?
Yeah, had a little feeder there, and then
Okay.
ran back in the swamp. Before it went in the swamp, I got a second shot off, and
Nice. So did you see a lot of deer today then?
saw a couple this morning. 9 does and a nice 8-point that I missed.
Okay.
And then 2 spikes tonight, and this guy.
Okay. Nice. So is this your biggest buck ever?
By far, yeah.
Nice. Well,
Yeah.
congratulations.
I haven't had a great luck shooting bucks, but
Your luck is turning.
hopefully, yeah.
Nice job.
Thank you.
It really was a great opening day for the Zarzini boys. I hunted with Ron on day 2 as well, and we never did see the buck we wanted. So later that night, I made my way up the road to Manton for the first year of a new buck poll in Wexford County.
The first annual Wexford County Buck Poll.
Yeah, and were you helping putting this on?
Yep. My wife and I put it pretty much with Randy Shepler's and a couple other people's help, did put it all on.
Now, who kind of helped you guys put all this on?
That sponsor board in there, all them sponsors is what made this happen.
Awesome.
Anybody can do what I did, but without the sponsors, you ain't gonna have none of it.
Okay. And how many bucks did you guys hang yesterday?
We got 11 yesterday, and I believe 12 or 13 today.
Nice. And with this weather, is it what's been the report from the guys? Good season, bad season so far?
Slow.
Slow?
Warm, too warm.
Okay.
But I mean, we're getting some nice deer.
Yeah, you are.
You know, for the first one, we got a lot of good bucks on there.
And are you guys giving away stuff here tonight?
Giving away a lot of prizes.
Okay.
Big prizes.
What's the top prize?
Oh, the top prize for the biggest buck is a full shoulder mount, and then a 2-gun, 6-bird, 2-person hunt over at Thundering Aspens in Measing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good deal. Well, thanks so much for putting this on.
Oh, thank the sponsors.
Well, the bucks were here, and there were lots of stories to be told.
I'm Jody Good. I'm from Hamilton, Michigan.
And tell me what happened with this. Was this today or yesterday?
This was this morning, about 7:30.
Tell me the story.
He was just over a ridge from me, and I could hear him walking about 200 yards away. It was dead quiet morning, and he came into a hole about 50 yards broadside, and perfect shot, and he ran about 80 yards and dumped right there in front of me.
Wow. Now, were you seeing lots of deer yesterday and today, or not too many?
I saw one deer yesterday, and I shot it with my doe permit,
Nice.
and then I saw this was the only deer this morning.
Wow. And did you say he was by himself, or was he following?
He was by himself.
By himself.
Yep.
Wow. Biggest buck you've ever shot, or no?
Oh yeah, by far.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Joey from Detroit.
From Detroit?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And tell me what happened with this nice buck.
I was walking a flat, and it popped up, and I shot it, or I shot at it, and I missed the first shot, and then it jumped in the river, actually. And when I got out of the river, I shot it, and then it took us like 2 hours to get around to the other side of the river and find it. Wow. And then it was still alive when I found it. I broke the back leg when I shot it. And then I just gave it another shot, and it died.
It's a pretty exciting hunt.
Oh, yeah. One of the most exciting ones I had.
Did somebody say this is your first buck?
This is my first buck.
Wow. How'd that feel?
It was pretty neat. Exhilarating.
Now, did you hunt yesterday and today then?
Yes, sir.
And how did you see lots of deer? Not too many deer?
I saw a lot of doe.
A lot of doe. Okay.
Yep. Everything was moving though. Nothing was really standing still. So.
Was he chasing a doe, or was he by himself?
No, he was by himself.
Okay. And how far was the shot?
60 yards, 50,
okay.
60 yards.
And what'd you shoot him with?
30-30.
Nice. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
David DeKunik from Macomb, Michigan.
Okay. And David, tell me what happened with this buck.
Hit me by surprise. I was looking south, turned my head, and he was 10 yards from my blind standing there.
Oh, you're kidding.
Nope, I couldn't. I moved to get a shot out the window, and he was in a corner of my blind that I couldn't see him. So I kept looking around, waiting for him to make a move. And third time I looked around, he was running straight away.
Really?
I hit the edge of the pines, turned sideways. I threw a shot at him and found him in the pines.
How far away was he?
Maybe 40 yards, but he was, on a run. He was on a run as I took the shot.
Now, were you seeing lots of deer yesterday and today?
Nope, I saw nothing. I didn't see anything yesterday. I saw him, and he took off in the pines, and I kept looking. I didn't know if I hit him or not, so I kept waiting for him to run out. And I looked down the other end, and here was another buck coming up the pines, which had already spotted me, so there was no way getting a shot at him. That one took off, so I started walking in the pines looking, and I walked up on him.
There he was. Was it public land or private?
Public land.
Public land?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm right on the edge. My blind's on the private. I hunt the public, though.
Okay. And so what do you think of these antler point restrictions up here? Good or bad?
Oh, love them.
Yeah?
Love them. Yeah, we had a lot of good pictures on cameras. He wasn't on there, but all the bucks that were on there, I think 6 different bucks, and only 2 weren't shooters.
Wow.
And big difference from what it's been up here. This is 30th year for me, but it's 50th year of our camp.
Oh, nice.
So,
well, congratulations. That's a heck of a buck.
Yep, thanks.
Dennis Anderson, Cadillac.
Okay, Dennis, tell me what happened with this monster buck.
Well, I saw him at about between 8:30 and 8:15 opening morning. I had all but one of the windows on my blind open, and the one I needed to have open to shoot him was closed. And in the process of opening it, I spooked him, and he took off. At 5:15 at night, last night, he came back, checking his scrapes, and I shot him. He went probably about 80 yards over a hill onto the neighbor's property and out of sight, and I thought I'd lost him.
Wow.
This morning I went and knocked on the neighbor's door and said, I shot a buck and I wonder if I could look for him on your property. He's laying back there. I saw him. So my son and I went back there and got him.
Wow. So you saw him yesterday morning? And then
Yesterday morning.
So you had to, all day you were thinking, I screwed up, eh?
Oh, I knew I screwed up.
But he came back. Wow. And how many points is he?
No, they counted 10.
10
I marked
points.
5 plus on the one side and 4 on the other.
Well, congratulations on a buck of a lifetime.
Thank you.
Now, Ron Guizdala shot this deer in bow season here in Wexford County and was nice enough to stop by and tell his story.
It was a total surprise to me. I was hunting in a different area, and I usually hunt on state land. I have 140 acres here in Wexford County, and decided to come back on after the first day. It was duck season, too much noise going on. Came back on the property, and first night I was sitting there, had deer come right up underneath me. It was more than 10 feet away. It was raining, windy. Deer ran away, never even got a shot at it. And I had a trail camera out for about a month. I hadn't looked at any of the photos on there, so after that happened, I went and pulled the card out of the camera and saw a video of this guy walking down the trail. I went, oh my goodness. So I went back out there the very next night. I think I'm walking right out 22 yards. I was able to harvest.
Wow. Opening day was good here in Wexford County, and 30 or so miles away, it was pretty good at the Zarzini camp as well. It's always great to hear the stories of good hunts, but it's the ones that get away that seem to keep us coming back year after year here in Michigan's Out of Doors.
Buck pulls are a great tradition here in Michigan, and last week I stopped into Richmond for their buck pull that happens at the auto dealership there. Now, this week we are in a winter wonderland here in Michigan, but last week for the deer opener, we had some pretty mild temperatures down here in the southern lower, which kind of affected the number of deer hanging on the pole, but we still had a great time.
It's become a tradition for me over the last few years to head to Richmond, Michigan on the second night of firearm deer season. Dick Hoovar's auto dealership here in town hosts one of the largest buck pulls in the area, and it's always a fun time for the whole family. There's a bonfire, lots of activities for kids, and plenty of food. And the big bucks taken in the area never disappoint. I checked in with Kim Jugowitz to see how this year was shaping up.
We are in our 5th year.
Wow.
Yes.
What are you seeing this year so far?
Suntans. Lots of hunters coming in with suntans this year. Weather is way too mild. I mean, we like it, but it's kind of showing on the pole this year, so.
They're going up and down real quick?
Up and down real quick, yeah. The ones that want to come in and hang, we're grateful for, but they're going quick because they want to get to the processing, so not much you can do. We had probably about 500 people show up last night. It was crazy. So we raised a lot of money for Wounded Warrior and Path Foundations this year. So, yep, everything's going really good.
Tom, what do we have here?
Nice 8-point I shot tonight.
Oh, good deal. And who do you have with you?
This is my girlfriend's daughter, Ashley.
Ashley, is this your first buck?
Yep.
How old are you?
I'm 14.
14 years old, and look at this, at a 4-point?
Yep.
Cool. So were you guys hunting together?
Just down the road from each other.
Okay. And how did that work out? Did you get them on the same day?
Yep. I got mine about 5:30 tonight.
Yeah? What were you thinking? What was going through your mind?
Adrenaline. A lot.
Yeah? How far was your shot?
Probably 10 yards.
Okay.
Wasn't that far, but.
Really? That's awesome. And you're using a shotgun?
20 gauge.
Oh,
yep.
Cool. Congratulations.
Thank
your
you.
First buck ever.
Yep.
Yay. And now, Tom, did you get her into hunting?
No, she had been hunting prior.
Okay, cool. And so you work here, obviously. What is your title?
I'm the sales manager at the dealership.
Okay. And so is this your first buck since you guys been doing the buck hunt?
Second one I've hung on the pole.
It is? Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. So tell me about your hunt. What happened out there?
4 o'clock it came out in the field. Shot it about 60 yards. It ran about 80 yards. Had a hard time tracking it. There was no blood. And we found it about 4:30, 4:40. And pretty excited to find it
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
This is awesome.
Thank the dealership also for having the buck pole.
Oh, yeah.
Folks were enjoying the buck pole here for sure, and one of the main attractions here was this 14-point buck taken on opening day by Mike Ritter. Mike had been after this buck for quite a while.
Well, he showed up on trail cameras in the second week of the bow season, first time I seen him. And, seen a few pictures of him, and then finally I seen him one time making a rub too far out. A couple of weeks later, I was going out to a stand and got up into it. Just got into the stand, didn't even clip into my safety harness yet, and he stood up 30 yards from me.
Oh, he was bedded down next to your stand?
Bedded down.
Oh my God.
So he took a few steps, I shot him, I hit a stick, and the broadhead hit him right in the shoulder.
Oh.
So I tracked him that night, jumped him after 120 yards, and after he bedded, we found 2 drops of blood, and then that was it.
Man.
So we looked all the next day.
Heartbreaker.
It was. The next 6 days were pretty bad. And then after that next weekend, I got him back on the trail camera again.
Nice.
So I knew he was around. It was just waiting to see him, and then opening day, there was a doe on the opposite side of our field, and there was 5 bucks chasing him around, and chasing her around, and she came across the field, and he followed. So I was in the wrong stand, so as soon as he started coming across the field, I jumped down out of that stand, ran across the field 100 yards to my next stand, climbed up, got into the stand, and tried to control my breathing from all the running, and then the doe came through within the first minute.
Oh my word.
And he was probably 45 seconds behind her.
Oh.
So I shot him twice there.
How far away?
He was about 50 to 65 yards. And I shot him 2 times, once in the shoulder and then once up through the body into the shoulder again on the opposite side. No, I didn't want to let him go.
Oh man, that must have been awesome to finally be able to walk up on him, huh?
It was a big relief after that whole season, after hunting 1 deer.
Oh. So how many scoreable points does he have?
14.
14. What does he gross out at?
He grosses at 153 and 5/8.
Gorgeous. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Another nice buck that had just rolled in was this beautiful wide 8-point taken by Autumn Sawecki of Yale, Michigan.
He was actually downwind of me chasing a doe, and I grunted him, he stopped, and I shot. Dropped him instantly, he got back up, and I shot again, and he was down.
Oh. Were you shaking?
Yeah, I was shaking.
Have you shot bucks before?
Yeah, that's my 4th one.
Nice.
I have three 8-points.
How long have you been hunting?
Since I was 4. Yeah.
That is so cool. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Folks were gathering around to hear the announcement of all the winners for this year's 2-day buck poll. The winner of the youth category was 16-year-old Sean Wendling from Emmett, who dropped this bruiser of a 10-point on opening day. Sean had already taken his buck to the taxidermist, but was able to show us a picture on his phone. Autumn Sawecki was the winner of the women's category with her 8-point, and Mike Ritter took home the prize for the men's category with his 14-point bruiser. One of the reasons the buck poll here at Hoovar's is so popular with the hunters is because of the big prize packages for the winners. Mike walked away with $1,100 worth of optics, deer processing, taxidermy, and gift cards. There were other raffles for unsuccessful hunters too, with lots of big prizes, but more importantly, money raised for the Path Foundation and Wounded Warriors. Special thanks to Kim Jugowitz and all the good folks at the dealership here for hosting a great event where sportsmen and women can gather together to share stories, raise money for those in need, and pass on the outdoor heritage to our next generation.
Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you check us out online when you get a chance. Lots of fun stuff happening there. You can check out our website at MichiganOutofDoorsTV.com or our Facebook page at Michigan Out of Doors TV. Lots of fun stuff to do there and lots of interacting to do with other Michigan Out of Doors viewers.
Well, make sure you are joining us over the next couple of weeks here in Michigan Out of Doors. Lots of brand new stuff coming down the pike, and next week we're going to tag along with some folks on a trap line. You won't want to miss that. And for all of you watching on Thursday night, we want to say a special happy Thanksgiving from all of us here at Michigan Out of Doors Television. Hopefully you're getting to spend some good time with friends and family, and if you get out and do a little bit of hunting around the holidays, good luck to all of you as well. Thanks so much for joining us this week, and if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by By the Michigan chapters of Safari Club International. For over 40 years, SCI has been protecting hunters' rights and promoting wildlife conservation here in Michigan and around the world. SCI chapter locations can be found on the web at firstformichigan.org. By Jay's Sporting Goods with locations in Clare and Gaylord. Jay's, serving the Michigan outdoor enthusiast since 1971 with a wide variety of outdoor products. The gear, the knowledge, the tradition of Jay's. On the web at jayssportinggoods.com. By Rosie Brothers. Located in Dryden, Michigan, Rosie Brothers has been serving Michigan for over 40 years. Specializing in outdoor needs, Rosie Brothers features Kubota tractors and equipment for use in farm, home, or commercial needs. On the web at rosiebrosInc.com. By Propane, Clean American Energy. Propane retailers promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas energy in homes, farms, and businesses across our great state. Learn more at usemichiganpropane.com. Closed captioning is provided by the Michigan Propane Gas Association, Clean American Energy. Propane realtors promote the safe use of Michigan-produced gas to outdoor enthusiasts across our great state.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man. I am a Michigan man. Ask where I'm from and I'll show you my hands. Lord above, I love this land. I am a Michigan man. From the Keweenaw down to St. Joe, Kalamazoo, East to Monroe, to St. Marie and back again. I am a Michigan man.